Hi everyone, so if you're new here, I'm Damaris and I created Rainbow Vegans Rock. And on my channel I talk about sustainable living and vegan lifestyle. So today's video is just an interview that I did with eco-friendly Henri. So if you aren't aware of who she is a sustainable influencer on Instagram. She doesn't have a YouTube account as such. She has a good Instagram following and she's also a blogger. So I'm not going to film an outro to this video because obviously the interview is already fairly long. So I am well aware that these days people's attention spans aren't the best. And I'm also guilty of that myself. Sometimes I'll see a video come up that I want to watch, but I'm likely to put off watching it because it's between 30 to 40 minutes, you know? So I think it's only human to feel like that, but I didn't want this video to be too long and off-putting. So I'll just quickly do this intro and then cut to the interview. So if you wanted to find out more about Henri, I will leave links in the description box as well, so you can check her out. I had a lot of fun doing my interview with Frederica from Zero Waste Family. So if you haven't checked that video out yet, I'll leave a link here so that you can go and check it out. Both of these ladies are really inspiring and I hope you enjoy it. So rather than me rambling on and on, I will cut to the video now.
Well, thank you for sending those questions. So I've literally just sort of gone through them and sort of thought about what I'd chance to say. So
yeah, that's fine. Sometimes it's helpful, isn't it? I think so that you know. Yeah, so you've got an idea then, haven't you? And you know what you can say.
Yeah, well, it's just when you're trying to recall a story or a fact, and then you're just like, or it's
yeah. Those
you asked me
moments.
about like who on Instagram I admire, and I thought I know who I'm going to say, but then I can't remember all the little details, so I looked them all up, so I had them to hand. So yeah, that's all good.
Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to start with the first question then, which is, when did you start your sustainable journey?
So I think the starting point for my sustainable journey was when I had my daughter Penny, which is nearly 4 years ago now. And I mean, I'd always been quite eco-conscious, but raising her really opened my eyes to the fact that her generation will suffer if we don't, urgently start making more changes to help protect the planet. And then I think it was also my parents that kicked me into action. So, they, after Penny was born and she's their first and only grandchild, they started to give their house an eco makeover.
Oh, lovely.
And and do you know, we thought my dad was mad actually. And he started looking into ground source heat pumps. And we were like, what on earth are those? And then after a bit of research, you realize that actually, oil and gas boilers are hugely polluting the atmosphere. And they contribute almost as much as many emissions as cars do. And so they had this really old polluting oil boiler. So they switched that out for a ground source heat pump.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was a massive operation. But honestly, we thought my dad was absolutely crazy. Then actually realised that was a really good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
And now the house, me and my daughter live with my parents at the moment, and so the house is run pretty much on renewable energy.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so good. I can imagine a lot of people wouldn't know what that heat pump is. And a lot of people don't even think about the oil boilers either, do they? They just think about the cost because you've got to get new oil every few months or something, don't you? But they don't usually think about the polluting side of it.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough attention on it. I mean, it's all about, transport industry, car emissions, airplanes, but not enough is talked about your house and your oil and gas boilers, which are really quite polluting. And the ground source heat pump was quite a significant investment, but there's a government subsidy called the Renewable Incentive Scheme, which over a 7-year period, they would actually give you, some of the money back. So,
that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really useful actually. You just need to have the money up front to pay for it. So they're encouraging more and more people to do it. And I was chatting to the builders, and there's a lot of new builds are now being fitted out with ground source heat pumps, or the alternative is air source heat pumps, which is taking the air and actually using that clever ways to heat your house. Whereas
Oh,
ground
wow.
liquid pumped around a pipe in the ground, so it's using the heat from the ground which is absorbed into this liquid, and that's actually helped to heats the heating of hot water in your house.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, I mean that's a very sort of layman's description of it. It's actually quite technical.
I'm sure.
There's a lot of people having retrofits. So whipping out the oil and gas boilers and installing these heat pumps.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I've heard that about new houses. A lot of them they've got solar panels in them straight away, haven't they? And I think somebody I was talking to on YouTube on my last video said that new houses in their area are getting the charging points for cars as well. So they're really thinking about the future, aren't they? Which is so positive.
Yeah, it's very, very encouraging.
Yeah.
I mean, in our local town, there's lots of electric vehicle charging points. There's lots of houses you see around with solar panels. So, it's very encouraging that big steps are being taken to help reduce carbon footprints.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And going back to what you were saying about when you become a mother, it sort of changed everything. I remember in the interview with Zero Waste Family, Frederica, she said exactly the same pretty much. When you become a parent, it sort of changes your mind. I was kind of similar to you actually, in that I was always quite eco-conscious, but I didn't really take it seriously until I had my son. So
yeah, I think suddenly you're bringing up a child into this world, and actually when you think about what the world might look like when they're in adulthood, it's quite terrifying, because
it is terrifying. Definitely, it's really scary. I hope that we can do everything that we can to make it good for them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Lots more action is needed, I think.
I agree, definitely, but we'll see. So my next question is, what, if anything, have you been unable to switch to a sustainable version of?
That's a really interesting question. So my biggest challenge has been products for babies and children. Oh. And there is starting to be more and more plastic free versions, or toys with recycled plastic, or wooden toys. But one thing I haven't been able to find is armbands for swimming. So my daughter is learning how to swim, and she has a paddle suit, which I don't think is eco-friendly, and I think it's a bit restrictive, so I'm looking out for armbands. But they're all plastic. So
I'm not surprised. Yeah, that's not something that I've ever thought about, but
yeah. No one's invented them yet that I can see. So
no.
Eco-friendly armbands, I don't know whether they can make them from recycled plastic.
I suppose they could do, couldn't they? Because they're making a lot of sort of strange things out of recycled plastic, aren't they? So maybe that's something they need to concentrate on.
Exactly. I'll keep searching and see if I can find some, because it just pains me to buy more plastic.
Yes, I can imagine.
We've bought kind of a lot of green toys, so using recycled plastic, and then a lot of wooden toys. But I just find it really painful when you're actively buying more plastic.
I know it's upsetting, isn't it, when you're on this sort of journey and you're trying to avoid it, and some things it's just not possible to avoid at all, is it? It is such a shame.
It is. Yeah, you're just putting more plastic into the ecosystem. So it's not good. So I'm still mulling my purchase. So I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. I think I might have one of those suits where they've got the floats in them. But I always think and you're supposed to take one bit out as they're learning to swim so that they get used to it gradually or something. I got it second hand, so I didn't really think about it. But of course, it's all made from plastic, isn't it?
Well, at least you bought it second hand though, so that that's the best thing.
Yes, that's true. It's not so bad.
Well, I'll let you know if I find anything.
Yeah, do let me know, definitely. So the next question is, what is your favourite sustainable swap? This is always such a tough one.
This is a really funny one. So I have loads of favourites in that I've used a lot of really amazing skincare products that are all, very natural, organic and vegan, and the packaging is, quite often bamboo or glass. But actually the funniest one I found, and probably my favourite for the moment, is eco-friendly Play-Doh by Squish and Squidge.
Wow, that's so cool.
It was really fun. So my daughter Penny loves playing with Play-Doh, and actually her godmother Sam bought her eco-friendly Play-Doh. So it's made completely natural, food grade ingredients, naturally scented and coloured using plants. So it's vegan friendly and it's compostable Play-Doh.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's
and then it comes and it comes in little aluminium tins to package in the Play-Doh, so there's no plastic at all.
Oh wow, I love that. I haven't seen that myself, but I did find a recipe for homemade Play-Doh which I used last year, and I think I might have just used food colouring in my cupboard, so not completely eco, but that was actually quite fun to make the Play-Doh that way, because it's just basically, I think, flour, oil and salt, isn't it, for the most part? But of course the actual Play-Doh versions are a bit more toxic, aren't they, I suppose? But
yeah, I didn't think about it. I've never made Play-Doh. I'm not particularly good in the kitchen anyway, but
neither am I really. I just wing it. But
Play-Doh is not something I ever really thought about, but actually, I don't think it is compostable unless it's made, from kind of more natural products like Squish and Squidge have. And it was great. Obviously, it came in all these beautiful colours, and Penny just squidged it all up together to make some nasty, mucky green colour.
Where do they always do that?
I know. I was like, oh, that looks great.
Brown in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah. And you try to tell them, like, these beautiful pinks and purples are all going to vanish when you pushed it together, but no. But, it's all compostable, so it's great. So I don't mind buying more of it.
Yeah, of course. Oh, that's a really good one. That's a great sustainable swap. I like it.
It's a bit different. It was one that got me excited actually recently. So
yeah, that's good. Play-Doh is really relaxing, isn't it, as well, when you play with it? I like a stress ball or something. I like it.
I love it. And I've got all these and actually it came with these, I think they're recycled plastic, like little sort of template things where you could make cakes and like cars and stuff out of bits of Play-Doh.
I love it. Cool.
Really therapeutic, just sitting there squidging it up and then like making little cupcakes out of Play-Doh. So I
can imagine. That's good.
Entertains me more than Penny, I think.
Okay, my next question is, which sustainable swap has made the most difference to your lifestyle?
So I think I've got a couple. Obviously. So firstly, I think, the bathroom, there's just so many plastic bottles. It's shocking. And, for years and years, I've got really dry curly hair. So I'm a big user of conditioner and sort of serums and stuff and all sorts to make my hair look normal. And I have used so many plastic bottles over the years, shocking. But plastic is out. So what I've got is a couple of like pump plastic bottles that I keep, and I just have them as refills. So I go to sometimes go to my local eco shop, For State, to get refills. And then also my hairdresser in Marlow Brothers, they've got a refill conditioner, like a really posh natural brand there. So I often get refills there as well. So I'm just all about refills. I'm not great on the shampoo and conditioner bars because my hair's just too dry. So yeah, refills, I think that's really changed. And then the other one in the kitchen has got to be the end of cling film. So, the silicone lids for your leftover food. Yeah,
that's definitely a good one. I agree with you about the sort of shampoo and conditioners. I don't think they suit everyone, do they? The shampoo bars are usually okay, but I find the conditioning bars aren't quite so good on the sort of drier ends of my hair. So I completely understand where you're coming there. I think there's a brand, Nirvana Natural, I think they're called, where they do refill conditioners as well. So they send it to you in compostable packaging, I believe. So if you ever get stuck and you can't go out, there are some things that you can have sent to you as well.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I might look into that as well. Because
I think it's a good idea.
again, it pains me to go to the supermarket or Boots or whatever and buy a big plastic bottle.
I get that, definitely.
I just can't do it anymore.
No, I know what you mean. I'm trying to convince my partner to buy sort of shower gel and things like that in refills or bulk, to save the plastic.
With sort of shower gel and kind of face wash, you can get some really good soaps, I think. And that's where I really love the soaps. Like I've used quite a few. I quite like Friendly's.
Oh, I've seen that brand.
Really nice soaps. I use them a lot in the shower.
Oh,
I just think someone needs to nail a good conditioner for dry hair.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they do. Yeah, that's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard, very hard.
Okay, my next question is I probably know the answer to this one. What or who inspires you to keep living sustainably? I suppose we already talked about that, but.
Yeah, there's a couple of things actually. So obviously, my daughter Penny inspires me. I think, as a mother and a single mother, like I'm acutely aware I am not only, I'm very a mother, but I'm a role model for her. So I think it's important that she learns to, grow up in the right way and actually respect the planet and understand, that she needs to behave in a certain way to help, look after our planet. And I think she reminds me every day that just by being there, that I need to, do more to live sustainably and also try and inspire others. And then I think on the other side, it's, on Instagram, like chatting to yourself and others, like at my Sustainable Saturday meetup or just on other people's posts. I think it really is inspiring reading what other people are up to. And everyone has like a different focus. Like some people are more activists, others are more kind of product focused, some are great at gardening, and you just learn so much. And I find it really inspirational to find out, what other people are doing and the sense that you're part of like a community. Because I think otherwise, climate change is such a huge problem, bigger than all of us. And you just sort of feel a bit lost in the problem, and like how on earth is whatever you do going to make any difference whatsoever, and is anyone listening? And it is kind of comforting and inspiring to chat to others, I think, on social platforms like Instagram.
Yes, I agree. Instagram is probably one of my favorite platforms. And I completely agree with you. Everyone's got the sort of different focus, haven't they? Some are really into the slow fashion and sort of spreading awareness about that. And like you said, others are really good at growing things, gardening. I'm not so good with that, but I try.
Me neither.
I try my best, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm always willing to give it a go. And actually, Penny loves gardening as well, so we're learning together.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, my son quite likes growing things. He actually got quite upset in the winter time because his flowers had died and he thought it was his fault because he'd forgotten to water them. I said, no, it's okay, it's winter.
That's adorable.
Yeah, so I've had periods where I felt really overwhelmed and sort of worried about the earth. Eco-anxiety, they called it, don't they? Where you don't know if what you're doing is enough, and it sort of feels like it comes on top of you, doesn't it? Overwhelming, like I said. Have you ever felt that? And if you have, what did you do to sort of stop the overthinking?
So yes, absolutely. I think when you read in the news, some big events that are happening around the world that are obviously as a result of climate change, like the earlier this year, the extreme storm in Texas, fires in Australia. You see horrific pictures of like turtles like strangled by plastic in the sea, starving polar bears. It's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And I think, yes, it is so easy to feel anxious and really overthink it. But I think what I try and do is just channel that kind of adrenaline and that energy into something more positive. So, like I said earlier, this problem is bigger than any of us. And but I think we just remind ourselves that every little change that we do counts, and every sort of time we're posting on social platforms, any conversation we have it does influence others. And actually, so a load of my friends who weren't eco-friendly, particularly eco-friendly, have sort of seen some of my posts, started following other people that I follow and learning and actually switching to more sustainable products themselves and saying they're being influenced. So
that's cool.
It is. You just feel like, you're actually helping to sort of change behavior here.
Yeah.
And I think it's everything, isn't it? From using your car less, so to maybe even switching to an electric vehicle if you can, avoiding single-use plastic, just generally buying less stuff that you don't need, really.
Yeah.
And reusing and more, recycling more, and thinking more of kind of the zero waste mentality.
Yeah.
Super important. And also I think, so I've been doing a ton of research this week actually for work about misinformation around climate change. And there's so much, these awful conspiracy websites that just, creating these ridiculous bogus narratives to try and I just think now more than ever, it's really important that like influencers, media, etc., work hard to create, the right truthful narratives. With facts, research, stats, to normalize and promote low carbon lifestyles, and I think we should call out inaction from like businesses, governments, as well as our friends and family. I think inertia is not an option now. I think we all need to be proactive and make sure that others are as well, where we can.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's like Greta with her sort of climate Fridays, wasn't it? Or whatever she actually called it. She just decided that she couldn't let it carry on. So she sat there, didn't she, outside the government building? And I can completely understand where she's coming from, because everybody seems to be a little bit aware of this, don't they? They're aware that climate change is happening, but I don't know, it's the bury your head in the sand mentality, isn't it, I suppose?
There's a lot of that, I think.
Yeah, which is such a shame.
Yeah, I wonder actually in the next year or so, people are actually going to wake up to the fact that you need to get your head out of the sand and actually make more changes to your lives. Because in the UK, obviously, we've got that 2050 target to be net zero by. But actually, are we on the right trajectory? Do we need more people to take more or better sustainable decisions in their everyday lives to achieve that? Perhaps.
Yeah,
so let's hope. Yeah, let's hope.
A lot of people are saying that 2050 is too late, isn't it? Anyway, so that's sort of worrying as well.
Yeah, it is all really worrying. I mean, I personally I don't know how much I trust politicians, to be honest. I tend to
understand.
Scientists and academics, really, they're with looking at their stats, their research. I say they're my go-to people for, people who I trust, the opinions who I trust.
I understand that, because they don't have an agenda, whereas with government politicians, they've got an ulterior motive, really, haven't they? So it's difficult to trust them, definitely.
It's all about being re-elected and getting your popularity up. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, promise everything and then do what you want when you're elected, which is such a shame.
Yes, happens too often, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, is there anything you wish you'd known before you started your sustainable journey?
I think that the only thing I could wish is that I'd started it sooner, really. So I'm not sure why. So before I became a mother, I worried about really trivial stuff, work related, the usual, normal worries. And I don't know why climate change wasn't high up my priority list before. And I in my sort of circle, no one was really worried. So it just wasn't a priority. So I wish that it had become a priority sooner.
Oh, I completely understand that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always been quite eco-conscious, so little things I always knew not to waste, so I switched to cloth pads and things like that quite early on. But I think I'm sure everyone like yourself is probably guilty of not putting it as a priority, because I certainly didn't for years. There was things that I knew that were wasteful, you know, probably from upbringing. My mum's really good. She was always really eco-conscious. But there's certain things that I just knew not to waste, but the whole bigger picture, I don't know. I didn't think of it either, so don't feel too bad.
I think actually, you know, it was on the media agenda, but it wasn't like as a bigger priority as it is right now, I think.
Yeah, probably right.
And I think that people who were really eco-friendly, you know, sort of 10 years or so ago, were like seen almost as a bit of like eco-friendly geeks, you know, hippies.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
I mean, now it's becoming mainstream, but it is, I mean, it's so late.
Yes, that is true. I feel like the scientists have been saying it for years, haven't they? And people just ignored it. Like you said, the hippies cottoned on to it, but nobody else really.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. But I mean, we just need everyone to take more action, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I know what you mean about sort of the influence on friends and people like that as well, because a few people have said to me, I was going to buy this dress, but it's, you know, it was fast fashion. And she said, convince me why I shouldn't buy it, was her exact words. So I sort of suggested the app that she could look at, which is called Good On You? Where you can basically check fast fashion brands. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I'll download that. Sounds great.
Yeah, it's really good. It's got, it must be something to do with Emma Watson, because it's got her face as soon as you go onto the app. But you can put in brands. So like in the UK, we've got Next and places like that, haven't we? So you put them all into the app and it will tell you, you know, not good enough for Next or whoever you're searching for. And then it will say brands like People Tree, which are great. And it tells you why they're great as well. So I thought this is a great app. So I sort of said to her when she said about this dress that she wanted to buy, which I think was from, is it called Joe Brown, something like that? I wasn't familiar with the name myself. So I checked on the app, told her what it said. And afterwards, she didn't buy the dress. I said, it's completely up to you if you want to buy it, but I sort of gave her the information. And I think she probably wouldn't have come to me and asked, except she now knows that it's probably not the best sort of sustainable and ethical choice, which is why she asked me. I thought that was quite funny.
Nice. And you obviously influenced her opinion there, and now she's got the app so she can make, you know, slow fashion decisions ongoing.
Absolutely, yeah, it's great, definitely.
I'll download that actually, I didn't know about it.
Yeah, that's really good one that I found recently. I thought that was quite cool. Okay, yes. Who are your favourite sustainable influencers on Instagram, YouTube, or otherwise?
Yes, gosh, big question. So
I'm sorry.
So I have to admit, I read more blogs and follow influencers more on Instagram than YouTube.
Yeah.
So I obviously, apart from your channel, Tamara.
Thank you.
Excellent. I remember you giving some great tips about vegan sweets.
Oh yes, vegan sweets.
Yeah, that video. So I managed to make sure I bought the right sweets because I love sweets. So I read a handful of blogs. So I love like Moral Fibers and Curiously Conscious, and recently started reading the Green Journal. So get a kind of range of like sustainable living tips and kind of keep up to date with climate change discussions and news.
Yeah.
And then on Instagram, I love Instagram for engaging and kind of with sustainability influencers and reading. I just get so much kind of just good tips and tricks and advice and like people flagging things. I learned so much. And I recently wrote a blog about the importance of sustainability influencers, because I think they're absolutely critical here for kind of moving the dial in terms of helping to change behaviour or encourage others to change behaviour. And so I just cited some like kind of key ones that I really liked. So in slow fashion, there's an Instagram account run by Emma Slade Edmondson. So that's at Slade Edmondson. So she's inspiration about how to make your wardrobe more ethical. It's everything from renting clothes, reinventing existing outfits, to like thrifting in charity shops. So I'm slightly fashionable, not hugely, but I have been really trying to sort of buy anything new from charity shops, and then seeing how I can kind of revamp my wardrobe and just use what I've got, because I have actually got quite a lot.
I'm sure a lot of people would say the same as well.
Loads of dresses that I've not worn in over a year. So so it's super helpful to follow her posts. And then plastic pollution as well is another one that I'm kind of really passionate about, trying to minimize plastic. And a lady called Lizzie Carr, so she has a not-for-profit organization, On Planet Patrol. So that provides tips on cleaning up the environment, how to live plastic free, such as using recycling wrapping paper, and they all Planet Patrol. So that's their website. The organisation has their own website. They host free cleanups all over the world as well.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, so it's such a great organisation, and I follow Lizzie Carr on Instagram, so she's at Lizzie_outside, and then also On Planet Patrol as well.
I'll have to see if I can find those to follow them on Instagram. That'd be really useful.
Yeah, they're really good. I'll send you all the details. And then sort of sustainable living. I love the account Blue Olis. So she posts vegan recipes, sort of sustainability hacks, how to make your own cleaning products and shampoos, sort of tips and tricks for upcycling or mending old clothes. It's a really, really good account. Not that I could probably be good enough to recreate some of these recipes. But I love watching her do it. And then I love kind of vegan beauty products, and a vegan beauty girl.
I love vegan beauty girl.
Yeah, I love her. Nicole, so I love all her sort of sustainable alternatives to your, favorite beauty products, and all the kind of.
She's really good like that. She's not just about the vegan beauty. She loves, anything that's more sustainable as well, doesn't she? I like her.
Yeah, she's great, isn't she? Yeah, I love following her. So I think those are kind of my main ones. But then also, everyone that I chat to on Sustainable Saturday as well.
Yeah, there's so many good accounts, isn't there? And everyone's like this big community. It's lovely.
Yes, and people are doing such interesting things, and there's so many people with skills in different areas. So I learn so much every week, and I always feel like I'm not doing enough, because there's some people who just do so much, like ocean pickup, sort of litter pickups, and gardening and baking. And I'm not doing any of that.
I completely know what you mean there. I've been trying to make more from scratch the last few weeks, and there's been some fails, which is bound to happen, isn't it? But I think everyone has their strengths, don't they? And I'm sure everyone feels that little bit of guilt as well. Like, I know I do sometimes, the sort of guilt thinking, am I doing enough? I don't know. It's a tough one. And I'm not particularly amazing. I can cook, but baking, I'm just a disaster. I'm trying to master bread at the moment, and it's kind of hit or miss, but hopefully it's just a practice thing.
You're better than me. I'm with you there. I can't bake at all, and my cooking is average, very average. So yeah, I have to follow recipes closely, otherwise it ends up in a bit of a disaster.
Oh dear. That's funny. Okay, yeah, so you're a blogger. You've obviously got quite a big Instagram community with the Sustainable Meetup, and you've made your own children's book as well, which is really awesome. What did you find the most rewarding out of all the things you're doing?
I think that I find so writing the children's book was very, very rewarding. It kind of happened while I was on maternity leave, and I wrote it to raise money for Great Ormond Street as well, because Penny's an outpatient there. But I don't know how many books I've sold yet, because I don't find out till the end of the royalty period. So,
right, that's annoying.
Yeah, so it's been a rewarding process so far. So we'll see. And I've written another one, and I've also started writing a book about climate change for children as well. So
I saw you posted that on Instagram. That's awesome.
It's just finding time, because I also have I freelance in PR and marketing as well.
Oh,
like,
do you? Wow.
fit all this like when in the evening or sometimes on weekends. But I think also I find very rewarding in terms of like blogging and posting on Instagram and chatting to the community. I think it's just when you're voicing your point of view and people listen and respect and react and respond, and your opinion counts and your opinion is part of the debate, and you feel like what you're doing and saying is making a difference to try and make the world, a better place. And I think that's hugely rewarding. And it just makes you feel like, your point of view counts and you are having a say in trying to, look after our planet and reverse climate change. So yeah. I really find that very rewarding.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, at times everything just gets like really squeezed in around work. So you're just sometimes I just think I'm completely mad.
Yeah.
But I keep going, and I find it very rewarding. Just have to like schedule time for downtime as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you need that. You must be so tired.
Yes, yeah, sometimes.
Okay, my next question is, so you created the Sustainable Meetup, which we mentioned, which is a lovely weekly post. So I'm fairly new to Instagram, having only properly been on there about a year. So when did you create the Sustainable Meetup and what inspired you to do it?
So I'm fairly new to Instagram as well. So I think I started the account, my sort of public account in February last year, but didn't start properly doing it till like May last year. So I launched the Sustainable Saturday Meetup in, I think it was October. And I had been sort of experimenting on Instagram, looking at like what's the types of posts do well, what don't, what do people want in the community? What do I find rewarding in the community? And I was finding actually like the whole like likes and shares thing like a bit superficial. It's like
I can imagine that. Yeah,
it's a bit meaningless for me. And I think the value you have is that in the comments and like connecting with people. Definitely. And sharing other people, either kind of partnering on sort of awareness campaigns or sharing other people's campaigns.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to get to know the community better. And I had been joining a couple of like the mum meetups. Oh. And then obviously there was the Eco Meetup Monday that Ruth Sustainable Me ran as well. I joined that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just thought I'd really like to launch one of my own, like on a weekend when I have a bit more time. And I mulled it over for about 2 months. So yeah, I spent a lot of time thinking about it and coming up with a name. And then I got a designer to create a kind of like logo and post for me. So I'm rubbish at design. And then I just went for it one October and I was really nervous thinking, God, no one's going to come.
Oh no.
And I actually was kind of nervous for the first month because I was just like, oh my God, will anyone come? And then I put quite a lot of effort into the beginning actually to really promote it. Yeah. And then it gradually just got kind of bigger. And then at the sort of height of the lockdown, it was really popular because I think obviously no one was going out. And then, but now obviously it's a bit sunnier. It's still got a really good number come. Obviously not the sort of, I think we got probably over 200 at one stage, I think. Yeah. But I'm hearing great stories about, brands sell their products to people. Retailers are finding new brands to add to their stores. People are able to like grow their own communities, partner on initiatives. So like, business and sort of meaningful conversations happen. And when I scroll down, I learned so much. I learned so much from it. And like sometimes I have time to reply to like 20 people, and sometimes I've got time to reply to everybody. It just literally depends on timing and whether I'm looking after Penny or not. So
I understand that, definitely. You get a lot of comments on there, don't you?
Yeah. So I've been at the hairdressers for the last 4 hours. They were trying to sort my hair out after a year of no hairdressing appointments. So I spent a couple of hours chatting to people, and it was great. Yeah. So I just think you get to know people in the community, like really, as much as you can on Instagram, but it's more than just a like and a share or a, share to stories. You're actually chatting to people, who they are, have they got a family, where they live, what do they do for a living, like what's their focus, like what's their passion. And I just think it just gives a lot more value to the community, and I also get to know people much better. So I think I've answered your questions there.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I really enjoy it. So I try and do it I think it was 3 weekends when I paused it because I was either away or something else going on, but normally I can fit it around stuff, so I've got really good at kind of being smart with timing.
Yeah, juggling it as you can.
Yeah.
That's really good, and I agree. I think I don't think I've commented for a few weeks because I've been just busy, but I do miss that. I love talking to other people in the comments and seeing what their stories are. And in fact, I think maybe the last time I commented, I got a message from somebody about the slow fashion movement after, and I thought that's great. Oh, I'll join this incentive. I don't know if you've seen the one where you pledge to buy no new clothes between July and September.
Yeah, I signed up to that.
Have you? Yeah, I wondered if you might have done.
I have, yeah.
It's obviously a lot easier for me because I'm doing a no buy year anyway, so I'll just carry on as normal. But but yeah, I thought that was a great movement that they've got going, and I got that off of the sustainable meetup, so that's amazing.
That's great. You're doing it already for the entire year. The rest of us, yeah, it's a really good movement actually. So
I don't think you're gonna like this question. So I love that you use your platform to lift up sustainable creators as well, because you've got your live interviews, which you do on Instagram and also on your blog as well, isn't it? So you must meet some amazing people. Are there any that stand out to you? You might have already mentioned them, I suppose, when you
Okay. Well, actually, I can think of someone else who did stand out actually. So I think that I'm so impressed and quite in awe of Ellie Wyatt, who runs the Eco Action Families. So I interviewed her.
Yes, Eco Action Families, love them.
Yeah. So she's a BAFTA award-winning composer for children's programs. She's like written the music for all the really amazing CBeebies programs that my daughter watches, like TMO and JoJo and Gran Gran.
Wow, that's so cool.
Isn't it, right? And then also she's an active campaigner and runs Eco Action Families, so the community group around the UK. So they aim to inspire action in our home, schools, like workplaces, across the wider communities. And I recently helped them promote one of their campaigns, The Ripple Effect.
Yes, I joined that one as well.
Yeah, which encourages people to take those 3 actions during the lockdown. So switch to a renewable energy provider, switch to an ethical bank, and then become an earth protector by signing up to the Stop Ecocide Earth newsletter. And I mean, she does so much, and she's been an activist for decades. So
wow, really, that's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, she fits so much stuff in and has a family as well. So
oh my goodness,
I'm super impressed and totally in awe of her.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with you. They're so good, aren't they? I always like most of what they post, and I think back along I did have a good look at their website as well, and it's all good. And I joined their Facebook group as well, for the group that's close to my area, I think it was. So yeah, they're doing some amazing things. They're a great account, aren't they? Yeah.
So I would say probably I'll call out Ellie then for the stand-up.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll send her the link to the video of her half gushing about her.
That's nice though. That's what I mean. You're so nice at lifting other people up. And that's why I knew I wanted to interview you for several months actually, because I thought, of course, you spend a lot of time interviewing other people, finding out their stories, and that's great. But I just thought, has anyone ever sat down and actually interviewed you and asked you questions? So I just had that in my head. Perhaps you have had an interview before, but I knew I wanted to interview. That was it.
I've had a couple and a lot about promoting my book, but not anything like this. So I know, thank you.
Okay.
It's been it's great to be interviewed.
Oh, that's lovely. So I am the first. Cool. I think I've come to my last question. Let's see. So yeah, do you have trouble trying to fit it all in with family life? Obviously, I've just learned that you do your freelancing as well, which means you must have no time whatsoever.
I have a really insane schedule sometimes. So yes, it's this strange balancing, juggling act where you have a never-ending to-do list. So what I've done is I try and prioritize. So what is important and what is urgent, and then try and sort of block times out in the week where things need to get done. And so I freelance 4 days a week, and then I look after my daughter on Fridays, and then when she goes to her dad's, I sometimes get Saturday, so I would then might use that as a working day. And so outside of work, I do I try and blog once a month or so, and run an Instagram account, and then try and write books. And I'm always trying to think about how can I be more productive rather than working harder. It's about smarter working. So I read this great book by Cal Newport called Deep Work, which has got really good guidance about when and how you can do like deep thinking work. And there was such good takeaways in the book which really helped me be more productive in the right way. So like you turn all your notifications off, so no emails, no social media, nothing. Whatever you're doing, you just go like deep into it, and you can do it kind of quicker and be more productive.
No distractions. That's sensible, isn't it?
Yeah, and then also, it might be though. So the other day I had to come up with some ideas for work. I'm just sitting at my laptop, and I was like, God, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's like I need to think about this. And I thought, I can think about this on a walk. So I went out and I sort of brainstormed to myself on a walk. And actually, that was a much better use of time. And obviously, you get your steps in as well and get fresh air. And then actually, you can think better when you sort of plug the problem into your brain and then do something else, something completely like trivial, or just sort of light exercise or something, and focus on something else, and your brain sort of mulls over the other issue, and you can come up with some great ideas like that. So I just try and do that sort of thing, to sort of, to sort of come up with stuff rather than, sit in front of a laptop.
Yeah, that's really great advice, actually, isn't it? Because sometimes you do get that sit there and you just go blank. Your brain's just not coping very well.
Yeah, you should just stop immediately. And then also, I'm much sharper in the mornings for writing and kind of detail. But then sometimes in the evening, I'm a bit more creative when I'm a bit more tired. But I'm rubbish at detail, so I should never write anything without having a morning to check it. And so I just use sort of tips and tricks like that, so you can sort of move your schedule along without sweating.
That's great. I think I sometimes in the evening, like you said, sometimes when you're tired, these crazy ideas come up, and that's always when I suddenly think, oh, I've got another YouTube video idea or blog post idea, and I'd sort of jot it down somewhere, because it's always late at night that happens to me.
Yeah, me too.
Suddenly I've got a couple of ideas, and I just quickly get them down somewhere so I don't forget, It's funny.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I experience the same thing, not every night, but sometimes. And then I just always try and allow reflection time as well to, evolve that idea. Because sometimes I think, oh my God, that's amazing. And then the next day I'm like, no, that's silly. Get really carried away in the moment.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Not all crazy ideas are going to be the one, I suppose.
No, exactly. I think you just got to come up with a whole kind of plethora of really creative ideas, and then make a short list. And some of them are just in the moment were just genius, and actually after a bit of reflection time I think no, that's
I can definitely relate to that.
I think it's all part of the process though. You've got to come up with the ridiculous to get to something that's sort of more realistic but creative.
Oh yeah, I agree. I personally love writing. I love writing blog posts. That's sort of easy to me. Filming videos is a bit more of a challenge. I find it, more nerve-wracking, and then you've got to edit the video. So I definitely prefer writing blog posts. That's my favorite thing. And that's usually why I save that for the weekend, because I know that I can just do it and get in the zone. I don't know if you feel like that when you blog. You need to be in the zone, no distractions, and you just go.
I do. I try and just get a draft, like a first draft
Yes.
down, and then and then as a second sitting, come back and fine tune it. I'm nowhere near as good at you as I know very little about video editing, so I would major, a very, very basic knowledge of video editing.
Really?
And then
this has been a process for me.
You're very good. But yeah, find writing kind of relaxing actually.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well. Just relaxing. I don't know. It's nice. And reading. I like reading too, but
yes, I agree. Reading and writing.
So I think that's it actually. Yeah, that was it. It's been lovely speaking to you again.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I hope it sounded all right.
Yeah, I think it's fine. The picture looks good to me, and I can hear you clearly, so that's good. But like I said, it's been so nice to talk to you. I better go just in case she needs me. But
yeah, carry on with potty training. We'll have a lovely rest of the weekend.
Thank you, and you.
Thank you.
And I'll speak to you soon on the Saturday meetup, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Speak to you then.
Bye.
Bye.